where you want it.
Bay 12, please.
Hello there, Transformers fans, and welcome back to another Bay 12 video review. Today we are reviewing the new Transformers Legacy Evolution Nacelle. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of Transformer fans out there who, when this figure was announced, were wondering who the heck is Nacelle, or were probably thinking, great, Hasbro's out of ideas, because here is another repaint. And this is a strange repaint to some, but to others, this has been a long-awaited fan favorite Seeker that they've wanted to see get released in retail. Now, going with the Tetrajet mold was an interesting choice because I know many Nacelle fans wanted him to be a repaint slash retool of the Earthrise Thrust figure, because the original Nacelle figure, which was a BotCon or Collectors Club exclusive, one of the two, he was a repaint of the Thrust figure, but without the cone head. So that was a really cool figure, and that's the only other official Nacelle figure. So it's nice to finally have a Nacelle in mass retail. But like I said, it's strange that they went with the Tetrajet mode because a lot of fans know him from the other body design. Now, Nacelle hasn't made a lot of appearance. I'm not going to try and convince you that this is some crazy, awesome, thrill-seeking or action-packed Seeker. Nacelle isn't. Nacelle is just one of those cool, unique, repainted Seekers, and saw some decent action in the Collectors Club comic and saw very little action in the IDW comic, which this figure is based off of. So this version of Nacelle is from the second IDW Transformers universe that started in 2019 along with Siege. So a lot of the character designs in that comic are a lot of the character designs from the Siege toy line. Hence, the Seekers were all the Tetrajet design from the Siege line, which is why they went with the Siege mold for Nacelle. So hopefully it makes sense now to the fans who are wondering why they didn't get the other version of Nacelle over this one, is because the Amazon exclusive run of Legacy Evolution figures right now are specifically characters who appeared in the IDW comics. Now, some of those characters appeared in the first IDW main universe that they established starting in like 2005 that ended in 2019, and some of these characters are characters from the original comic from 2019 that ended just last year. So here is Nacelle in the packaging. We have a totally closed box here, but I really, really like the art. I'm glad that we get full art boxes now for these Amazon exclusives. It just looks better to me than the plain cardboard boxes that we get with Generation Selects sometimes. So there's the artwork of Nacelle in robot mode. You've got some Cybertronian artwork in the background. There's like a balcony with some Cybertronians looking like they're having some kind of conversation. Legacy Evolution banner artwork on that side. There's Nova Prime on that side. On the back, that's what Nacelle looks like in robot mode and jet mode on the figure. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. And here is Nacelle in robot mode. And like I said, the coolest attribute to this character, like many of the Seekers, is the unique color scheme. Really what it comes down to in terms of preference of Seekers for many Transformers fans is, what's their color scheme? Because there's so many Seekers in the Transformers, and most of the time they all share the same jet mode or share a similar jet mode or have shared the same jet mode at one point or another in the respective timeline that they belong to. And sometimes Seekers have some character attributes that help them stand out a little bit more to others, and sometimes Seekers have special powers that help them stand out in comparison to others. My personal favorite Seeker, and it's mostly due to color scheme, and the majority of her characterizations, is Slipstream. That color scheme is my favorite color combination of all time, so I'm so happy that it's on a Seeker. This is also me saying, Hasbro, where is Slipstream? We need a Slipstream in mainline. She is long overdue. Now, what made the other version of Nacelle stand out was he actually helped develop the alternate wing designs of the Conehead Seekers in the Generation 1 continuity, at least in the Collectors Club comic book version of the Generation 1 continuity. So that's what made that version of Nacelle stand out. However, this version, it's really just color scheme. This version was just one of the many Decepticon Seekers in the IDW comic and was just used as a Seeker. I mean, he wasn't really anything special. He had a fight with Windcharger, and by fight with Windcharger, I mean Windcharger beat him up really good, and then he went crawling back to the Decepticons, and that, I think, was pretty much the last time we saw his character. I mean, maybe he was in one of the other background fights in that comic, but he didn't really appear much in the comic. So, like I said, it's really cool that we got this figure. It's just the most unique thing about this figure is its color scheme. And that is the case, like I said, for many Seekers. Anyway, here he is. I love the uses of blues and where they put the whites. I also really like that his face is red. I think that's really cool and unique. I like that his face just isn't gray like most of the other Seekers. I also like that his head is blue and not solid black like most of the other Seekers. They really made good use of rearranging the red, white, and blue on Nacelle in a unique fashion to which he stands out even next to Starscream really, really well, or even next to Thundercracker. Nacelle is fully articulated, head is on a ball joint, fully articulated shoulders in and out, upper bicep, double jointed elbows, wrists are on a swivel. You can, of course, remove his blasters from his shoulders. His wings do go forward and back and rotate a little bit. Waist, hips, upper thigh, single jointed knees, side ankle joints, forward and back ankle joints, and you can even close the feet together, but that's mostly due to transformation. Speaking of transformation, it's just like every other release of the Tetrajet mold, in case you were wondering. We're going to start by taking off his little cannons there. Oh, and real quick, before we get too much into transformation, a little PSA real quick. Recently, it was announced that you want to look out for the underside of the wings on your Nacelle figure when you order it, because some collectors, myself included, are finding mold on the underside of his wings when they're opening it up. And some collectors are getting one, some collectors are getting both, some collectors are getting none. And those are the lucky ones, because I don't know what kind of QC error in the factory for this figure led to mold growing on the underside of his wings. I don't know what it was. Just be careful. And if you're going to open yours up, just double check and get some good cleaner or some really good soap and just scrub it really well. That's what I did. I just took mine, got some really, really hot water and some really good soap and a brush, and I just scrubbed it out very thoroughly and very, very well. And not just on the wings. I scrubbed the whole thing just to be on the safe side, because with mold, you never know. So just be careful, just be safe, just so you know. All right, transformation. Like I said, just like the other Tetrajet Seekers, what we're going to do is we're going to start by pulling this back section off, and then we're going to bring the nose down to his back, and we're just going to go ahead and clip that nose section together and keep those wings out of our way. Bring this panel that goes up to the back of his head, tab it in to the back of his head like so, and then push his head in. Now you can't push it in all the way until you untab this chest panel here and bring this little bar up a little bit, because these two pieces are connected and keep them from going too far one way or the other. So push that head in, bring that up, and then we're going to go to the arms. We're going to go ahead and open up these side panels on the arms, fold in that fist, collapse the forearm onto the elbow section with that double elbow joint, and close that forearm section back up. Do the same thing over here. Open up that panel, put that arm in, close that up, and then we're going to rotate that waist all the way around We're going to close the feet and then push them forward just a little bit. Next, we're going to collapse the legs down. Push the thighs into the back of the calves there. They're going to collapse because of that awesome gap filler. I wish Hasbro engineered more spring-loaded gap fillers like they did with the Tetrajet mold. I really did like that. It was a nice touch. Bring these arms down here. You're going to have these two little rectangular peg holes that are going to peg into these two little rectangular pegs on the side of the leg. So just line that up, clip that in, line that up, clip the other one in. Sometimes it helps if you just kind of roll it down. And then we're going to, on this double hinge joint, push the nose section forward. This little bit's going to rest on the front of his thighs, and then we're going to bring down the wing. This little part's going to hook into this under part of the nose, and then there's a couple little tabs right here that are going to peg into the side of the arm right here on the top, just like how the arm's pegged into the side of the leg. Hook that in, and then that'll help click that part into place, and that'll secure this whole section. Come back over here, bring it down, hook that in, tab that into place, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take this panel right here and this panel right here. We're going to untab this from the top, bring it down on that double hinge joint, click it into place, bring that up, tab that into place, and now all that's left to do is to put on his cannons, adjust the feet, and there is Nacelle in his Tetrajet mode. And Nacelle looks really great in Tetrajet mode. I really like Nacelle. I'm really glad we got this Seeker. I'm a sucker for army builders, and I really love the Seeker. So anytime Hasbro's gonna repaint a Starscream or whoever into another one of those cool, unique Seeker paint jobs, you know I have to get it just because I just like the Seekers too much. They're too cool of an army builder. What's cooler than an army of fighter jets, Cybertronian, Earth, or otherwise? Guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's review featuring the new Transformers Legacy Evolution Nacelle figure from the second set of IDW comics, the IDW comic universe that started in 2019. What did you think of the second IDW comic universe? And were you bummed out that it was cut a little short? Or did you prefer the other comic book universe a lot more? Let us know in the comments. Who is your favorite Seeker? I would also like to know. Is it Starscream, Thundercracker, or Skywarp, the original three Seekers? Is it some of the other Seekers that appeared in Generation 1 that shared a body type with them, like Acid Storm, Rainstorm, Nova Storm, or Hotlink? Or do you like the Coneheads the best? Let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, my favorite Seeker of all time is definitely Slipstream. She is so very, very cool. And that's the other reason why I really like Slipstream, is she's the first female Seeker, and the way she was portrayed and animated was very, very cool. But my favorite of the original Generation 1 Seekers, if I had to pick from there, is definitely Skywarp. I mean, black and purple looks really, really good, and he can teleport. That's one of the coolest powers of all. Stay tuned for more Transformers reviews. Stay tuned for more of these Amazon exclusive IDW comic reviews, because there are a few more characters left to review. We still have the Cascade and Javelin 2-pack, as well as the Nova Prime, the first mass retail release of a Nova Prime figure. I'm very excited to play with that Nova Prime. Like and subscribe, follow us on social media, check out our sister website, cooltoyreview.com, for other toy reviews, news, and more, and like and subscribe to that YouTube channel as well, because some of the Legacy Evolution reviews that we're going to be doing are going to be exclusive to that channel. That's right, the Toxitron stuff, the Toxitron figures are going to be reviewed and posted on Cool Toy Review, not on the Bay 12 YouTube channel. So I'll let you guys know when that gets posted. Make sure you're following Bay 12 social media for that information and for that news. And there, of course, will be links provided as well in that information. Just make sure you're keeping an eye out for it, and those reviews will be posted over there. If you like Star Wars content, check out rebelscum.com, like and subscribe to their social media and YouTube channel as well for daily Star Wars reviews and toy content. And if you're looking for some cool action figures like Transformers, G.I. Joe, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and more, come by Order 66 Multiverse, which houses both Order 66 toys and Bay 12 in the shops at Willowbend Mall in Plano, Texas. And not only is Order 66 Toys the nation's official Star Wars collectible toy store, but they also do a weekly Friday night live sale every single Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time, and they ship all around the world. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Transform and roll out.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.